It was 5 a.m. in Igbeda, Lagos. The sky was still dark. The sound of rain fell gently on the roof of the Adeyemi family's two-bedroom flat. Inside, Tunde was already dressing up for work. He wore a white shirt that still had ironing lines. His wife, Yetunde, rushed from the kitchen, holding her handbag and phone at the same time. "We're taking Keke to the bus stop again," Tunde said, while putting on his shoes. Yetunde sighed. "This Lagos life is not easy. I have a client meeting by 9. I must not be late." Deborah, their first child, was just 14 years old. She was already packing food flasks for her younger siblings, Daniel, Dami, and Dara. They sat quietly on the sofa in their school uniforms, watching their parents move around like strangers. "Mommy, can you help me tie my shoelace?" 6-year-old Dara asked softly. "I'm late, my dear. Let your sister help you," Yetunde replied, already halfway out the door. Tunde and Yetunde left the house without saying goodbye. The door closed. The house became quiet again. Deborah tied Dara's shoelace and gave them the food she packed. "Let's go. We will be late too." No one laughed. No one smiled. The house was always quiet in the mornings. Nobody ever asked, "How are you?" or "Did you sleep well?" It was always rush, rush, rush. They were together in one house, but they were all living alone. Weeks passed. Deborah became like a small mother in the house. Every morning, she helped her siblings get ready. Every evening, she cooked noodles or soaked gari for them. One afternoon, Daniel came home from school with a swollen lip. He had been in a fight again. "What happened?" Deborah asked. He looked down. "A boy insulted me. I beat him." "You are always fighting," she said sadly. "Why?" "Because nobody cares. Nobody even knows I exist." Dami, now 9, had her first period and was very scared. She hid in the toilet, crying. Deborah had to talk to her gently and help her clean up. "I wish Mommy was here," Dami whispered. "She's working," Deborah said. "They're both working." That evening, Tunde got a call that he had been promoted at the office. He was so happy. Yetunde also signed a big contract for her business. They went out to eat at a fancy restaurant in Victoria Island. Back home, the children sat on the floor and ate cold gari. 5 years later, the house looked bigger and the family had moved to a better part of Lagos. But inside, the love had grown smaller. Deborah was now 19. One day, she walked into the house and told her mother something that broke her heart. She said with a straight face, "I'm pregnant." Yetunde dropped her bag in shock. "You what? Deborah, how could you do this to us after everything we gave you?" "You gave me money, but you never gave me time. You were never there for me." Daniel had joined a group of boys in the area that smoked and drank. He came home late, sometimes never at all. One night, the police came and arrested him. Tunde watched as his son sat in the back of a police van. "What did I do wrong?" he whispered, tears in his eyes. Dami stopped talking to anyone. She hardly ate and she always locked herself in her room. Dara never smiled. She had learned how to keep her feelings inside. Tunde and Yetunde began to fight almost every day. The home felt like a prison, not a place of peace. One Sunday, they all attended family counseling at their church. They sat in silence until the pastor asked, "Do you eat with your children? Do you sit and talk to them, even for 5 minutes?" Tunde looked down. Yetunde's eyes filled with tears. Deborah spoke. "We don't hate you. We just needed you. But you were always too busy."
Dami added, I was scared to even ask for help. Daniel said, I joined those boys because they were the only ones who listened to me. The room was silent. Tunde and Yetunde began to cry. That day, things began to change. Tunde took leave from work. He started taking Daniel to the football field. Yetunde reduced her working hours. She started cooking dinner again. They ate together every evening. They prayed together. They laughed together. The house began to feel like a home again. 5 years later, they moved to a quiet home in Abeokuta. It was not as flashy, but it was peaceful. Deborah was now married and working in a school. Daniel had finished NYSC and was helping boys in his area stay away from crime. Dami became a writer. Dara? She finally learned how to smile again. They all came together for Yetunde's 50th birthday. There was music, there was food, there was laughter. Tunde stood up with a cup in his hand. We chased money, he said, but we almost lost our children in the process. Thank God we found our way back. Yetunde smiled. Now we chase love, peace, and presence. We are rich again, rich in the things that truly matter. Everyone clapped. And for the first time in years, the Adeyemi family didn't just live in one house. They lived as one family.